This is the Walmart FLW Tour. 4 days of intense competition with professional anglers setting out at the first light of day in the fastest boats on the water. The competition waters are massive and the bass they seek are hard to find. Equipped with artificial lures, the most advanced electronics, and their own knowledge of the bass that roam America's lakes and rivers, the objective is simple. Bring back the 5 biggest fish each day and score the highest overall cumulative weight.
22 pounds!
$125,000 in cash is the top prize, and the winner moves one step closer to the ultimate dream, the World Championship of Bass Fishing, the Forest Wood Cup, which is being held this year in Shreveport, Louisiana. Who will survive all 4 days of grueling competition and hold the trophy high? Find out next.
Unbelievable!
Come on, baby. Stay on.
Time to rock and roll, folks! Showtime! Here we go! Thank you! That's what you call going after one, boy.
His eyes are bigger than mine.
That's a game changer right there, buddy. Would you look at that?
Wow!
Never been done in FLW history.
5 bass limits! You're the new leader. You're Forest Wood Cup champion.
Here in the foothills of northern Alabama is the town of Jasper. Like many other southern towns, Jasper has a charming town center, rich in history. And like so many communities in Alabama, the residents have a lake nearby where the bass fishing is tremendous.
How you like that one?
The Walmart FLW Tour on Smith Lake is here with the best anglers in the country looking to find their fortune among the clear, cool water. But there is one major obstacle in everyone's way, and that's Keystone Life Pro Bryn Ayler, who excels at fishing for pre-spawn spotted bass using his electronics to find them deep.
I can see everything I need to see down there. I can see the fish swimming, and once I can see the fish swimming, it's easier to catch them. I can drop to them and watch my bait go down to them.
Man, there's another one down there.
After day one, the top of the field was split between the largemouth bite that anglers like Dave Lefebvre found shallow and the spotted beauties that Ayler plucked from 30 feet of water.
He's got these spotted bass so dialed in, you know, this could be his year to win Angler of the Year after his start. He's never done well at Okeechobee, and he got a second at Okeechobee this year, so he's really on a roll, and this is really his forte. Okeechobee's not his forte.
As the temperatures warmed up, so did anglers like Jason Christie, who employed a fast-moving pattern in his search for largemouth. But at the end of the day, Ayler brought another heavy limit to the scales and widened his lead over the rest of the field. Now, with the field narrowed down after the first cut, we start the third day of competition. And while 20 anglers take off this morning, only 10 will find the right bites to keep their hopes of winning alive. The top 20 out on Lewis Smith Lake trying to survive to fish the fourth and final day. And Twix Pro from right here in Alabama, Jonathan Newton with us. Jonathan, nice to see you, my friend. This is it. You know, the all-important day, number 3 out on Lewis Smith Lake. It's been about 5 or 6 years since the FLW Tour was here. A lot's changed since we were here last.
Yes, it has. You know, we're fishing an earlier time of the year this year, and this lake fishes a little bit different from any other lake in North Alabama. This is a deep, clear body of water that has a lot of standing timber. Spotted bass is the key here. Now, guys are going to be catching largemouth in the creeks. There's a lot of feeder creeks that feed into here with a little bit of stained water, so some guys are targeting that along with the spotted bass, and it makes it pretty interesting.
You've got guys that are specifically targeting the spotted bass, guys that are only doing largemouth, and then guys that are doing both. Which one seems to be working better?
You know, normally spotted bass is the one that really plays the biggest factor here, but now guys that's figured out how to go catch some spotted bass along with a couple of good largemouth, that could be the key here, but I still think that spotted bass will prevail here.
Let's start with the spotted, since it is that kind of like, what's the technique that's really being done with the spotted this week?
With the water temperature being so cold, I mean, the spotted bass are a little deeper. They're in 30 to 40 feet of water, and the guys are targeting those fish with drop shots. A shaky head works real good here, but drop shot's probably the most dominant thing to catch a spot right now.
And that's why I know some of the guys from out west, Cody Meyer, Bryn Ayler, who's led the last couple of days, that's why they're doing so well. They're used to doing that out west, All right, on the other end of the spectrum, Brandon McMillan, some of these other guys, Andy Morgan, going for largemouth. What are they doing?
There's several creeks that feed into this, and you can go in the back of them, and the water's a little bit stained now, so they can go in there and target those largemouth shallow, but timing is key. Timing is everything in this, because those fish aren't moved up on the bank all day. They just move up at certain times, and if you're on the right bank at the right time, you can do really well.
Well, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Some really big names here in the top 20. Day 2 was it wasn't great for everybody. I mean, you look at Kellogg's Pro Dave Lefebvre, dropped a little bit. I mean, there's still a chance to move back up on this third day. We know a warming trend is coming for today and for the fourth and final day. You got Jay Ellis, Andy Morgan, Anthony Gagliardi. A lot can happen on this third day.
Right, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I still think that, you know, at the end of the day, people like Brent Ayler that knows how to catch spotted bass will go out there and they'll prevail and dominate on spotted bass.
So you think this can be won? I want to hear you say it. This can be won strictly all spots.
This can be won strictly on spots.
Well, Brent would be the test for sure, and it'd be win number 5. Again, today's not the day they win, but it certainly could be a day where they can lose this whole thing, trying to make it in the top 10 for that fourth and final day. Let's get out on the water to see what happens.
I'm going to take off and try another spot. I want to hit this first thing, but I didn't want to waste too much time here, so we're going to get out of here right now, run to another spot.
Brent's been working the lower half of the lake over the last 2 days, where the water is a little deeper and cooler, and the spots are suspended near submerged trees.
I'm catching on a drop shot, and then I'm also catching on a Yamamoto Senko, and I'm rigging it wacky, so it's, you know, the hook's right in the middle. And then I'm also swimming a little swim bait. And those 3 things have caught most of my fish this week. You know, I just noticed that sun started to peek through a little bit right here. Only I can guess is that these fish are really, I think they must really like the sun. The last 2 days I caught them, it was sunny. Little. You know, I like the weight that I've caught the last 2 days, but I hate leading tournaments early. I absolutely hate it. I would rather be kind of behind the radar and work my way up on that 4th day. You know, it's harder to move around, harder to fish because more people will get out there and start following you around. So I don't like where I'm at. I like the weight, but I don't like leading. Yay! I caught one.
You know, Brent Ayler's going to be tough to catch. This is his wheelhouse. You know, fishing this way, clear water, spotted bass. I mean, he loves it and he's very good at it. I mean, I got one little bitty one in there, so if I catch another pretty good one on this Alabama rig. I mean, when I pulled up this morning, as soon as I turned my depth finder on, I mean, the whole bottom was covered. So, you know, this cloud cover's helping along because it's keeping them down, keeping the bait down, making it a whole lot easier to catch, you know. There's a good one. I've just been catching some on drop shots, some on shaky head, some on a jig, some on Alabama rig. You know, it's just, I got kind of lucky and found 3 or 4 holes that are real close together. It's got a lot of fish on them.
What that?
RMC Boatworks pro Kobe Krieger won his 2nd ever Start Series title back in November. And while he didn't finish as well as he thought he might at Okeechobee, he's been redeeming himself this week, using an umbrella rig almost exclusively and throwing it in shallower waters.
I got to catch a limit today. Definitely got to catch a limit today. If I get 5 in the boat, I think I'll be okay. But, you know, we're not here just to make tomorrow. We're here to finish in the top spot. So I'm going to go for, you know, I'm going to do what I've been doing, try to catch big ones and you know, hopefully make the next day and see what happens. There's one. Good one. It ain't that good, but he'll keep. There's still plenty of fish around where I'm fishing. I just got to get them to bite. Heating up! Here in the RMC rig, boys, heating up!
Rayovac pro Jason Christie is fishing on the western branch of the lake, starting out around the Duncan Bridge and then moving quickly in search of bass in the 3 to 4 pound range.
Well, I've been fishing boat docks the whole time, and the last 2 days I haven't hardly caught anything till after lunch. So today I decided to come up here in the river and just goof around really and hopefully stumble across a couple, and I've been able to do that. I just haven't been able to get them in a boat. My favorite way to fish right here. Can't beat flipping bushes.
For me, I've been fishing a lot of new water. Always trying to figure out what the newest thing is happening.
because that's a lot of times is when your biggest bites come, is when those fish get on a certain deal, like a jerkbait bite or a shad wrap bite. That's when you're going to catch the most of, the majority of them. And they start to fade off when the guys start to figure it out. But if you can get on a deal and run with it, a lot of times in the tournament, that's how you catch these big bags.
Wheelers on the bubble and trying to figure out how to make it to the final day here on Smith Lake. Kellogg's and Walmart have teamed up with Operation Homefront to help meet the everyday needs of military family members in communities all across the country. And this May, you have a chance to say where. Just go to walmart.com/heroes to find out more.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Straight Talk. Same phones, same networks, half the cost. Chevy Silverado, the one you depend on, the one that lasts. Walmart, save money, live better. Evinrude, power, performance, and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Everstart, fish more, worry less. And by Kellogg's, from great starts come great things.
That's what you catch on the Alabama rig, baby. Down there deep.
The best ones are the shallow ones.
I know the bass is still on this bank.
Y'all from 40 feet need to be up there on the bank.
The deep versus shallow debate goes on here on the third day of competition on Lewis Smith Lake. It's the Walmart FLW Tour, and it's been a bit of a struggle through the morning.
Hopefully that sun will stay out. I like my chances better with the sun out.
20 anglers are fishing on this northern Alabama impoundment. Fed by the Sipsey Fork of the Black Warrior River, the lake is known for its clear waters and steep banks where depths can quickly reach 200 feet. Anglers like Bryn Ayler are working in 30 to 40 feet looking for spotted bass.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
It's 2 that I've lost now, 3 that I've lost now.
Even with missing a few fish, Ayler maintains his lead over Jacob Porosnik, while Jason Christie's on the cut line, but only a few ounces behind the spotted bass specialist, Cody Meyer.
I don't know if the guys catching largemouth are going to catch them as strong. Maybe they will. It's getting a little bit warmer, so maybe that pattern's going to start getting a little better. But for me, I'm just going to go out and fish with the spotted bass, hopefully catch a couple big ones, and make that top 10 cut.
Bryn Ayler set the fishing world on notice about his skills back in 2006 when he won the Forest Wood Cup. Since then, he's been consistently at or near the top of every standing, finishing second at this season's first event on Lake Okeechobee.
I was hitting these specific spots because there's big ones that live on these spots, so that's kind of why I've stopped here. Okay, I think I'll keep. I'm just trying to, go to where I believe the bigger ones live. I might keep. Yeah, 12 inches, right?
More docks like that one right there has been the ones that catch the big ones, on the ones that touch the bank.
Christie's fighting to stay in the cut, and he's back to flipping the docks now that the sun is out.
The other thing is you just want to hit as many docks as you can. For some reason, it's like clockwork. Once dinner time hits, I don't know where they come from, but they move up. It's not just on the docks, but with the docks, I can fish faster.
I just want them to be out there, want to be the most consistent anglers. Not necessarily win every tournament. Of course I want to win, but be the most consistent. Always seem to catch them, always make top 20s, always trying to make top 10s, and be consistent. Because the consistent guy is the one who makes the most money and, of course, ultimately will win Angler of the Year. The one thing that really has hurt me today is the water that I was throwing a shad wrap in it cleared up a lot. And what that does is it makes those fish pull off a little bit more and it makes them sort of suspend. And that's not what you want. You want them suckers right up on the bank. I was catching them dirt shallow and they don't get that shallow when that water clears up.
The way the weights are and everything, and the way the lake's been fishing, I think if I catch 5, 5 15 inches, that'll be about 10 pounds, and that'll put me in the top 10 and a chance to, to go. But throughout the day, they'll go from being on the bottom to up high and then back to the bottom. It's just wherever the bait goes is where they're at. I'm just like anticipating any time now one's gonna rattle my cage. There he is. Dude, that was awesome. Did you see that thing crush that thing? I mean, I felt it in, I mean, you could hear it in the rod when he hit it. Yes, baby. Some of that. Oh, that's 5. Some of that.
The top 20 are coming into the Walmart in Jasper, Alabama with their best 5 fish to see if they make the cut. First order of business on the big stage is to see who wins on the co-angler side. Congratulations to Hoyt Tidwell, who's leaving Alabama $20,000 richer.
11 pounds, 5 ounces, 11 pounds, 8 ounces, 11 pounds, 15 ounces. You are the new leader.
For me, I'm going to stick with the spots just because I fish for a largemouth and never caught him in practice. To be honest, I wouldn't even know where to begin to look.
Two-time FLW Tour champion, Ray Scheid.
My starting spot, if I can get it working and catch multiple fish there, every one I catch is big. So I know it's going to be a perfect day when I can get them biting early and keep them biting.
12 pounds and 9 ounces, another new leader. Wow, 13 pounds and 3 ounces, 12 pounds and 13 ounces. Every ounce counts, man.
Anybody at any time here can catch a 20-pound stringer.
Ranger Avenue Pro, Kobe Krieger.
You know, he's fishing deep, and I think those fish are hopefully leaving. I'm not saying that I'm going to catch him, but it's possible that he can be caught.
9 pounds, 11 ounces for Kobe Krieger, moves you to 3rd place. His nerves are rattled, man. He's led on day 1, led on day 2. Got up at 2:30 this morning. Can he go to the final day and lead again? Former Force Cup champion, Keystone Light Pro, Brent Ayler. A 5 bass limit today worth 11 pounds, 15 ounces. You're the new leader.
You know, I have to move around a lot. It's not, I don't have any one specific spot. I'm catching him in several places, and, you know, it could be interesting. It's been a grind out there. It hasn't been easy, and I'm not going to lie. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but hopefully I can do well.
Brent extends his lead over the field going into the final day. Andy Morgan was one of the big movers of the day, jumping from 19th place all the way to 7th to make his 53rd top 10 cut. Professional anglers push their equipment to the limits every time they head out on the water. And for the ones driving an Evinrude engine, they can take comfort knowing the quality that goes into the manufacturing process.
We're in front of Eagle Rail 1 right now. This is where we machine the blocks for the outboard engines. You see one of the pallets bringing a block onto the fixture, onto the vehicle. That'll deliver it to the machine. We run every product every day.
Now the machining is on its way and the lower units are nearly done. We start building a power head down this line. By the time we get to the end of this line, it's a motor ready to run. So the operator will scan the power head, scan the lower unit to make sure they're a legitimate match, and then we actually set that power head on the lower unit. And this motor is on its way to test. By the time we're done with this test, we will have checked a whole host of parameters. This is the last place to make sure that a motor that we're not proud of can't get to our customer.
The E-Techs are powering some of the best anglers in the country as we have one more day of fishing for our top 10. Don't go away.
All right, look at that. That's
In practice, the wind was blowing really hard and it was cloudy and the fish were biting pretty good. In the last few days, it's been dead slick calm and it's hard for me to get some bites. Today, the wind is supposed to blow really hard, which will be really good for me.
I'm just going to do the same thing I've done the last couple of days. I'm going to go out deep this morning and hopefully there's another big wad of them there schooled up on this little flat sandy point that I'm fishing.
Conditions are perfect. You got a front coming. It's going to be windy on a clear lake. Somebody's going to catch a giant bag today, and things could change this afternoon, so it might as well be us.
Keys for me is to kind of swing for the fence. You know, I'm tied on some swim baits, going to fish deep, fish for the big spotted bass, and hopefully just get 5 of them to bite.
I'm going to start right here, right at the off limits. I'm going to try and catch one real quick, just right down this little bank. You know, my fish haven't been biting early, so I'm gonna start right here and hopefully catch some release fish.
As our top 10 take off on the final day of the Walmart FLW Tour at Smith Lake, all thoughts are on Keystone Light Pro Brent Ehrler and hoping the approaching wind will slow him down.
Boy, it'd be nice to start the morning with a big one. That's the warmest the water's been since we got here. 52.1.
Starting on a big utility docks, there's a bunch of big spots that live underneath here, and in the morning they'll be out where you can catch them a little feeding, but I'm fishing about 45 foot deep. I like them when the fish are on the bottom. I mean, you can catch them then.
See how they're up off the bottom? That's all spotted bass.
They're down there. I mean, they're on the bottom, but I mean, I've caught, I don't know, probably 100 off this place since I've been here, but let's see if they bite the Alabama rig. Some of them, a lot of them are suspended up this morning.
I'm catching a lot of spots, so I'm using the Bifflebug Junior instead of the regular. Fishing at about anywhere from 15 to 20 feet deep. Usually, that's my favorite weight to fish shallow, but this lake is so steep and deep that you don't really get to fish it like you'd like to.
Someone who is fishing the way he likes is Cody Meyer. He's about a quarter mile from launch, using his Lowrance to locate spotted bass down deep. Cody is in his 5th year on tour and was the runner-up at the 2010 Forestwood Cup on Lake Lanier, another deep, clear spotted bass fishery. This California pro is a light line specialist who makes extensive use of his electronics in his bait presentation.
I'm throwing a little wacky rig worm here. It's a little jackal bait with a little small nail weight in it. Just something a little bit different. You know, it's got a pretty cool action, and you know, every day the bite's been getting tougher and tougher. So I figured something a little bit smaller, a little more finesse, maybe get a couple more bites. There he is. All right, look at that. That's what you call video game fishing. I saw that spotted bass down there. Nice, about 2-pounder. Saw him down. Dropped my bait down to him. He came right back up, looked at it, and then followed down to the bottom and bit it. Number one.
While Cody Meyer gets one in the boat, Ehrler already has 3. He's another West Coast angler who makes a living reading his electronics for what's down deep, and he's using them to find fish right next to takeoff.
I'm really not fishing that deep. I'm only fishing about 20 to 30 feet. So what I've been trying to do is when I see him, I'll kind of pitch to the fish with that Senko or a drop shot and back the boat away a little bit. When I back the boat away a little bit, the bait will drop to them and they don't feel the pressure of me right over the top of them. So if I see the fish, I'll drop to them, I'll back the trolling motor up just a hair and just fish it kind of underneath the boat.
Yes!
That was a good one. I needed that one. I wanted to start here, and so far it's paid off. I have 4 in the box right now, 8:30. I have all day to catch them.
The decision to fish close has paid off for Ehrler and Meyer, but they aren't the only ones finding fish. More action from Smith Lake when we return.
Yeah, baby. Yeah! Since I pulled into Jasper, Alabama, I've thrown an Alabama rig. I mean, that's been my primary bait. I've been fishing shallow, probably one of the few guys who's been beating the bank all day long. Cast my Alabama rig at any target that comes between me and the, in the shore. There's a good one. Oh, big one, dude. Dude, I can't believe I turned around and I'm catching these fish. Good fish. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. 4 more, baby. 4 more like that one. Yes.
Welcome back to the Walmart FLW Tour here on Lewis Smith Lake. Veteran pro Kobe Krieger had just fished along this bank when he flipped into a tree and caught his first keeper. That cast convinced him to turn around and make one more pass with his Alabama rig, and so far, it's paid off with 2 good fish.
Hey! Ryan Creek has got dirty water, it's got clear water, it's got deep water, it's got shallow, it's got everything you need to fish. This is an area I've been fishing later in the afternoon. I just wanted to try it first thing in the morning and see if maybe they were bunched up or anything. I think it's more of a timing thing. You hit a spell during the day where you catch 2 or 3 pretty quick. There's another one! And he come out of that other tree. Yeah, baby. Woo! Yeah! That's awesome stuff right there, boys.
Jacob Porosnik has been within reach of an FLW Tour victory numerous times, and he came within just a few points of winning Angler of the Year in 2012. The Virginia Pro is known for his versatility, finding bass on any lake you put him on. Jacob has started off strong today, and the key for him has been his equipment.
Uh-oh. Oh, my gosh. Come on, baby, stay on there. A little better.
Last cast and we're out of here. Okay, let's go. We've got a spot right over here on this dock that I think it's been hit just about every day, but I know a big 1 or 2 live there, so we're gonna go try and catch one right there real quick and then, you know, start bouncing around.
Boy, this wind makes it tough. You know, the first 3 days I've been fishing, it's been super calm and slick and been able to hold on a spot. Now, this wind changing like this is gonna, you know, maybe it's gonna move the fish up. I'm fishing pretty deep. Maybe throw a little more reaction, baits, and have to figure them out again.
I might have to go join Krieger. I ain't gonna let him beat me on the Alabama rig.
With the wind picking up, the anglers fishing deep for spotted bass are being forced to reevaluate their game plan. Meanwhile, it's not affecting those who ran up the creeks like Tommy Biffle. He's had his area all to himself today.
I've been just trying to reel it slower, let it fall down the shelves and over the rocks. That'll work. That's it the same way as all them others that you don't catch.
Kobe Krieger is working with the wind as his A-rig bite has been on fire this morning.
I don't know if it's because the wind's blowing, or I picked a different place to start, or if it's because it's warm, they're biting. I couldn't tell you. You sort of fish down these banks and look ahead of you to sort of see if there's anything that catches your eye to catch one on. Like now that tree down there that's hanging out the bank saying, make sure you cast to me. Might be one here. Oh, there, he hit it. I dropped it back and he got it. Little spot. Number 5. Largemouth. He hit it, he missed it. Ha ha! Little chunky. That's 5. Fastest 5 of the week. Woo!
This final day is just getting warmed up and fish are biting everywhere.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a real big one.
Decisions anglers make now could alter their destiny.
Yeah! Ha! How you like that one? Oh boy. Follow it down, buddy. Follow it down. Please bite. Dang it.
It's the final day of the Walmart FLW Tour on Lewis Smith Lake. Although Bryn Ehlers started strong this morning, the rising wind has slowed things down for him.
That is not good. I just dropped on that thing and my bait's going down and he's down below it going away from it. Usually when you drop to it, your bait will come down, you'll see him rise up a little bit. When they're dropping away, that's not a good sign. That means they're not going to bite.
He is still in the lead, but a few others are closing the gap. for anyone fishing the main lake, the hard wind is causing shifts in strategy. For the top two, that means hitting the banks with an umbrella rig.
You know, right now, I'm going to plan B. I'm going to wind this thing around on a couple of spots that I like. They're biting this thing. I'm telling you that right now. I should have started throwing this a while ago.
I mean, I'm going to do this the rest of the day, probably. You know, I mean, I had planned on doing it a lot in the tournament. You know, the last 3 days it's been flat, slick, calm, and they ain't been in the right conditions. So maybe today is the day, because there's no way I can stay out there the way the wind's blowing right now. I mean, I couldn't even hold on 100.
It's still always a grind up here, but I'd rather be grinding this way than 45 foot deep.
Well, the wind, I think, just positions the bait or whatever right up on the bank. And then these trees and you know, what I'm throwing here looks like a ball of bait, you know, and then with that wind, helps deflect the light in the water, and they can't really make it out to be, you know, exactly what it is. They just know it looks like a ball of bait.
Come on, Buggy Wuggy. I'd like to go and run and do something, gamble, but you'd hate to gamble and fall backwards. Every day I've moved up, so I'll let somebody else gamble and fall backwards.
One pro who isn't falling backwards is Evinrude pro Andy Morgan. He's run 30 miles up the Sipsey Creek and fishing a jig in the shallow waters.
I think these fish are coming up from what I'm seeing the last couple of days. As it's gradually warm, these fish are coming up and getting a little shallower, and they're getting a little bigger as they get a little shallower. So I've lost a couple big ones every day. If I can land all the fish that bite, I think I'll have a real opportunity at a nice bag.
There's that log donkey.
There's a log donkey finally. A little better.
There you go.
Jason Christie has become one of the top-level anglers since his breakout win at Lake Hartwell back in 2011. Known to fish for big bites, the Rayovac Pro is working shallow water with his jig.
I'm flipping a finesse jig. It's a booyah bed bug jig, and the trolling motor is on high, and I'm just skipping that jig under docks, under bushes, just whatever's in front of me. You know, it's just something that I've caught a lot of fish on this time of year, and it's something that's kind of, you can power fish, but it's still finesse fishing. That's a spot out of the bushes.
The wind got the blowing so hard out there, you know, it's just hard to stay out there on the stuff, blowing you all around when you're trying to fish 50 foot deep.
Jacob Porosnik is staying near his main area in Simpson Creek, but he's working with the wind instead of against it.
What happens when that wind blows, it creates the waters a little bit different, so it makes them bite a whole lot better. In the spring, the wind is your friend, and you know, it blows them shad and stuff. They're right there on them points back in them pockets, and it kind of narrows them down. They just bite it. It's one of the best things in the world. You know, I throw it on a 711 Veritas and an 8-foot Villain made by Berkeley. I throw it on 25 fluorocarbon. Why? I just seem to get more bites if I throw it on fluorocarbon than braid. I'll take some of that action. Dude, he crushed it. Dude, look at that big old pig spot.
You know, that wind is blowing in perfect on this bank and point right here. These are the conditions that are absolutely perfect for this thing.
Fishing the conditions is important, and Bryn Ayler has moved to bluffy rocks using an umbrella rig.
We have not had the weather the last couple days for it to really shine, but today's the weather when they'll really bite it. Oh, that's a big one. That's a real big one. Be a bass. Oh, stay on, fish, stay on. Yeah! Whoa! Yeah!
That's the one I needed right there. Ha! How you like that one? Oh man, my heart's pounding.
Brent's excited about figuring out these fish and closing in on his 5th tour victory.
Nice!
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, official engine of the FLW. Plano, protect your passion. Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate with the new HDS Gen 2 Touch by Lowrance. Motor Guide, engineered for anglers. And by Walmart, save money, live better.
I needed that one, buddy. I picked up the rig, started throwing it, and I'm just right up here next to a nice bluffy point, and that thing smoked it. No, if that doesn't get you fired up, you're dead.
It's the last hours on the water at this Walmart FLW Tour event on Lewis Smith Lake. Brent Ehrler got fired up by his last fish, but his instincts are telling him he needs one more bite to close out a wire-to-wire victory.
I got so fired up back there that I'm really nervous now. There's one worm spot that I need to fish. Let's go.
Time is running out, and he's headed back to deep water in search of one more bite. At the same time, his closest competition is staying close to shore and throwing the rig. Just around the corner in Ryan Creek, Kobe Krieger started strong this morning but hasn't been able to upgrade all afternoon. Things have gone downhill for Cody Meyer as the wind pushed him out of his key area. Over in Sipsey Creek, Ray Scheid never got things going today, barely scratching out a limit. For Andy Morgan, who is also up the Sipsey, the shallow largemouth bite has been strong. The same goes for Jason Christie, who's fishing the mouth of Brushy Creek. Tommy Biffle has had a decent day, but his creek has gone cold on him, so he's making a move and looking for more action.
Well, I knew this creek was a little bit warmer than the one I was in, but I also knew that there's boats in it. I hadn't been over here, and I don't really know, what stretches to run, so I'm just gonna have to jump and look around, and we had to make something happen. Need one good bush. Got about a 6-pounder in it. Stay on there, baby. That worked. I finally got one out of a tree.
Jacob Porosnik had planned to use the A-rig coming into this event, but the wind died down over the first 3 days and he moved out deep. Now that he has wind, he's working the banks with a rig he's customized for these conditions.
I feel confident fishing this way. I got blades on this one, so kind of acts like a spinnerbait. In the spring, a spinnerbait in the wind has always been good, but instead now you got like a whole school of minnows coming by. And typically this time of year, bass are feeding on shad. Once the water temperature gets over like 50 degrees, they go to shad. Oh my God. Come on, baby. Come here. God, I can't get my... Dude, that's a good one. Dude, my sleeve was wrapped in, my rod was wrapped in my sleeve. Come on, 1 5-pounder,
Brent Ehrler has made it back to his deep water where he's working a Cinco down over submerged treetops.
Most of the fish that I caught this week were on a spinning rod. I'm using an Abu Garcia spinning reel. I'm using a Lucky Craft rod. Been using 12-pound braided line to an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. Now the two baits that I caught almost all the fish on were a drop shot and a Yamamoto Senko. I caught probably 99% of them on the Senko. I caught a bunch of them on that thing. For some reason, that bait got the bigger bites this week. I think that's a good one. Nice! That is for sure gonna call. I think I've got it. I could be totally wrong, but I mean, they're gonna absolutely have to smash them to catch me right now.
Brent can pack it up and head in. Has he locked up his 5th Walmart FLW Tour title, or will a last-minute bite spoil his chances?
We're going in.
Welcome back to the Walmart FLW Tour on Lewis Smith Lake, presented by Evinrude.
Took time, but it's been taking time, you know, every day so far.
Can't complain. I mean, I got my win. I got plenty of bites.
I think it was getting tougher on everybody else, and I was still, you know, being able to do what I was doing.
As the anglers make their way to the weigh-in stage in Jasper, Alabama, rising country star Dylan Scott entertains a full house of fishing fans. Jason Christie starts strong, and Ayler could be in for a showdown.
14 pounds even. You're the new leader. Let's see your 2 best bass.
Andy Morgan comes to the scales a little stronger still, and we have a shootout on our hands.
Over $1.3 million in his career. This is his 43rd top 10. You guys welcome Ranger Avenue Pro, Kobe Krieger. You need 12 pounds and 15 ounces to dethrone the Tennessee boy, Andy Morgan, your good friend. A limited day worth 12 pounds and 10 ounces. That's got you in 3rd place with 50 pounds, 3 ounces. Almost $1 million in the bank. You guys welcome to the stage, Ray Scheid. You need 11 pounds and 14 ounces. You've had that every day. So you got 5.
Got 5.
Got 5. Here we go. Arkansas Pro Ray Scheid. A limited day worth 5 pounds and 4 ounces. All right, so you've got quantity, just missing the quality by today. Finished 2nd in the Angler of the Year points race, over $880,000. Here we go, Ranger Mercury Pro, Jacob Porosnik. He started on day 1 with 14 pounds and 11 ounces. He backed that up on day 2 with 12 pounds and 12 ounces. Yesterday, 12 pounds and 3 ounces in 3 days. 39 pounds and 10 ounces, and the weights were stacked close together coming into this final day. You need 10 pounds and 14 ounces. How many do you have?
5.
The limit, 5 bass. Looking for 10, 14. 13 pounds and 11 ounces. Let's see your 2 best bass. We got a new leader. Which leaves one angler left who led on day 1, he led on day 2, led yesterday. Can he slam the door and win wire to wire to take home his possibly 5th FLW Tour victory? You guys welcome to the stage, Keystone Light Pro, Brent Ayler. Brent Ayler out of Redlands, California has led this event every day, but in his rearview mirror, he has seen Jacob Porosnik gaining ground. And here it is, a defining moment. Looking for 7-7. Because if he didn't, you're the champ, my man. Here we go. 5 for Brent Ayler, looking for 7 pounds and 7 ounces, 5 worth. 14 pounds and 11 ounces. Your champion is Brent Ayler. Wow! Lewis Smith, Lake champion, his 5th tour victory. Keystone Light Pro, Brent Ayler.
This is called the Picasso schoolie rig. When it gets dark and kind of nasty or real windy like this, that's when they want to chase this thing. I couldn't do it on the first 3 days of the tournament, but when it got nasty today, I threw it and caught that big one. You know, this week has been nerve-wracking. It really has. This has been one of the toughest tournaments I've ever fished. I was so stressed out. I was waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning every day because I didn't really know which way I was going to run in the morning, and it was kind of tough, and fortunately I was able to run around and catch a few big ones. I had a couple spots where I knew some big ones lived, but they're hard to catch. And, you know, I'm just truly fortunate to be here. You know, God has blessed me this week.
His 5th Tour victory, Keystone Light Pro, Brent Ayler.
How you like that one?
How do you like that one indeed? Our congratulations to the top 10 pros who were able to find fish in such a variety of ways this week. Remember, FLW is the best in fishing on and off the water. So just go to FLWOutdoors.com for expanded coverage and tips from our top pros. On behalf of all of us here at FLW, thanks for watching.